Hello guys, in this video we'll learn about the algebraic systems with morphism in the discrete mathematics. An algebraic system or the algebraic structure consists of the one or more sets together with one or more operations which enable the members of the set to be combined in some way. If we consider the algebraic system is denoted by a capital S, comma, the function f1, f2, f3 up to the fn, where the capital S is a non-empty set and the f1, f2, f3 are the operations on the set. The operations and relations on the set S define a structure on the elements of S. It is possible to consider more than one set as a part of the system and operations on this set. The different operations on the set S may be n array operations with the different values of n. If the value of n is 1, then we can call it is a unary operation. If there are the two operations, value of n is equals to 2, then we can call the binary operations. Similarly, the value of n may be 3, 4, 5, 6 up to the n. A binary operation can be denoted by means of a symbol, such as generally in mathematics the operations we denote by the plus, then minus, multiplication and the slash for division. Like that, in this algebraic system the operations can be defined by the symbols such as the asterisk sign, the composition symbol, the plus, the triangle symbol, the symbol of the XOR, etc. And the result of binary operation on the elements say that the elements x1, x2 belongs to the set X is represented by writing that x1 asterisk sign, that is x1 star x2, or the x1 plus x2, x1 triangle x2, the x1 composition x2 and x1 this symbol of XOR x2. Here there is no meaning is defined that this star means the multiplication or this plus means the addition. Any symbol can be used for any operation. This not means the composition and this symbol is not means the XOR. These are the just symbols used to denote the operations over the binary. For a finite set capital X, it is sometimes convenient to describe a binary operation by means of a composition table. For the purpose of our definition here, a system consisting of a set and the one or more n array operations on the set will be called an algebraic system or simply an algebra. Now let's have the example that a set of integers numbers, that is capital I, with the addition plus symbol, then the algebraic system I with addition operation represent an algebraic system. It is not compulsory that for this set of integer there is only the one operation. This set of integer may be with 2 operations, 3 operations, 4 operations up to the n operations. If we have again the next example, that an algebraic system with the plus and star is another algebraic system with 2 operations, addition and multiplication. Now here the meaning of this plus symbol and the star, it is defined, that is the arithmetic operations addition and multiplication. So we can read this algebraic system as the set I with addition and multiplication operations. Now if we are to look the properties for the set of integers, then first we have to clear that what may be the set of integers. The set of integers may include all the negative values from minus infinity to minus 1. It includes 0 and it includes plus 1 to plus infinity. Means it includes all the integer values minus infinity to plus infinity. Now for the set of integers we can write down that in bracket a plus b is plus C is equals to A plus in bracket B plus C. For any three elements A, B, C belongs to the set of integers. For example, we can consider that in bracket 2 plus 3 bracket complete plus 5 is equals to the 2 plus in bracket 3 plus 5. Your answer will 10 in both the sides. That's why we call that it is a associative for addition operation. Now the set of integers is commutative for the addition operations because the A plus B is equals to B plus A. If we consider the any two values, that is 7 plus 5, then it is equals to the 5 plus 7 for any two elements A comma B belongs to the set of integers. Third is that for the addition operation, the set of integers, it has an identity element. What is the identity element? The element when we perform the operation with any number not effect to this number, then we call this number is an identity element. Let's have the example that for any A belongs to the I, there exists a distinguished element 0 belongs to the I, such that now for the addition, 0 is an identity element because when we perform the addition of 0 with any number, then there will not any effect. Just like the A plus 0 is equals to the 0 plus A is equals to A. The A plus 0 is equals to A. We have lots of examples that 5 plus 0 is equals to 5, minus 5 plus 0 is equals to minus 5, 300 plus 0 is equals to 300. That is A plus 0 is equals to 0. And if this 0 is the element of this set, then we call that this algebraic system follows the identity property. Here the element 0 belongs to the I is the identity element with respect to the addition operation. The next is the inverse element. When we perform the addition of the element and its inverse element, your addition or your result must be 0. And if it is 0, then we consider that this element is an inverse element. For example, if we have 5 and minus 5, then minus 5 is an inverse element of 5 as well. The 5 is an inverse element of minus 5. For any A belongs to the I, there exists an element in I denoted by the minus A and called the negative of such that is A plus in bracket minus A, it is equals to the 0, like the 5 plus minus 5 is equals to 0, 7 plus minus 7 is equals to 0, or minus 9 plus 9 it is equals to 0. And if the element and its inverse element it belongs to the given set, then we call that this set has an inverse element. These are the four properties followed by the set of integers for the addition operation. Now we will discuss for the multiplication operation. For the multiplication operation, again we can write down that A into B bracket into C, that is equals to the A into in bracket B into C for any three elements that belongs to the set of integers I. That is the 2 into 3 bracket complete into 5 is equals to the 2 into in bracket 3 into 5. The next, for the multiplication operation over the set of integers, it is a commutative. Why? Because we can write down that A into B is equals to B into A. That is 3 into 5 is equals to 5 into 3 for any two elements belongs to the set I. Now for the identity element A belongs to the I, there exists a distinguished element 1 belongs to the I such that the A into 1 is equals to 1. That is 1 into A is equals to also A. This 1 into A, it is equals to 1 into A equals to A. That is, when we perform the multiplication of 1 with A, then it not affect to this A. The 7 into 7, it is equals to 7. 200 into 7 into 1, it is equals to 7. 200 into 1, it is equals to 200. That's why here the 1 belongs to I is the identity element with respect to the multiplication operation. The next is distributive for the multiplication. We can distribute the multiplication operation over the addition operation. If we have the a into in bracket b plus c, then we can write down it is equals to the a into b plus the a into c for any three elements belongs to the set of integers. Then here the operation multiplication is distributed over the addition operation. The ninth and the last property followed by the multiplication operation is the cancellation property. If we have any three variables, suppose if we can write down that a into b it is equals to the a into c, that means we can say that b it is equals to c. Now here we can ignore the a, there is no any importance to the a. Now in the second example, we'll consider a set of natural numbers I like an algebraic system I with two operations, addition and multiplications. Now we'll check the properties for the natural numbers for the addition operation. It is associative because we can write down the a plus b bracket plus c, it is equal to the a plus in bracket b plus c. It is commutative because we can say that a plus b it is equals to the b plus a for any two elements belongs to the set of natural numbers. Now for the set of natural numbers there is no identity element because for the addition operation identity element is 0 and then in natural number set of natural number 0 is not present. Set of natural numbers it only includes all the positive integer values from plus 1 to infinity. Same for the fourth property, for the set of natural numbers it not having an inverse element because if the element is 5 then its inverse element is minus 5, but the set of natural numbers is not including all the negative numbers, it only include plus a to infinity. That's why for the addition operation over the set of natural numbers it only follows the associative and commutative property. Same for the multiplication over the set of natural numbers. We can say that in bracket a into b bracket into c it is equals to the a into in bracket b into c, and same it is commutative, that is a into b it is equals to the b into a, that is 5 into 7 it is equals to 7 into 5. Now for the multiplication operation over the set of natural numbers it has an identity element because for multiplication operation identity element is 1 and 1 it belongs to the set of natural numbers. That's why this set of natural numbers for the multiplication operation is having an identity element, that is 1. For the set of natural numbers we can perform the distributive for the multiplication same as the previous, that is a into in bracket b plus c it is equals to the a into b plus a into c, and the same, that is the seventh cancellation for the multiplication, that is a into b if it is equals to the a into c then there is no any importance to the a, that means we can conclude that b it is equals to c for any two elements that belongs to the set of natural numbers. Now moving to the next, let's have a set x with the 4 elements 1, 2, 3, 4 and a function that maps x to x is given by. Now when we perform the function x to x, then the function it will a set of 1, 2, the 2, 3, 3, 4 and 4, 1 because the identity mapping on the x be denoted by the f raised to power 0. It is a set of 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3 and 4, 4. It is for the x. If we perform the x to x mapping, then it will the 1, 2, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 4 and 4 comma 1. Now if we form the composition function, that is f raised to power 0 composition f raised to power 1, then it is equals to the function f raised to power 1. It will equals to the set of 1 comma 2. We can check the 1 comma 1 with the 1 comma 2, then 1 starting and second is 1, then it is 1 comma 2, that's why it is 1 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 4 and 4 comma 1. If we form the composition of the f raised to power 1 composition f raised to power 1, then it will the 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 3, that's why it will the 1 comma 3. The 2 comma 3 and 3 comma 4, that's why it is 2 comma 4. 3 comma 4 and 4 comma 1, that's why it is 3 comma 1, and 4 comma 1 and 1 comma 2, that will the 4 comma 2. To find out the composition of the functions, we have one special video. You can refer these videos to understand the compositions. If we form the composition f raised to power 2 composition f raised to power 1, that is the f raised to power 3, then it will the set of 1 comma 4, 2 comma 1, the 3 comma 2 and 4 comma 3. If we form again the f raised to power 3 composition f raised to power 1, that is equals to the f raised to power 4, then it will the set of the 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 3 comma 3 and 4 comma 4 and so on. But if we find that f raised to power 4 it is equals to the f raised to power 0. You can check this f raised to power 4, it is a set of 1 1, 2 2, 3 3, 4 4, and f raised to power 0 it is also the set of 1 1, 2 2, 3 3, 4 4. That's why if we solve it again and we'll find out the f raised to power 5, then it will equals to the f raised to power 1. If we find out the f raised to power 6, then it will equals to the same as the f raised to power 2. F raised to power 7, then it will same as the f raised to power 3. If we find out again the f raised to power 8, then it will equals to the f raised to power 0 and f raised to power 4. Means what we can conclude from the composition of the functions. Let us denote the f by the f raised to power 1 and consider the set function. It is a set of f raised to power 0, f raised to power 1, 2 and 3. Then it is clear that the set of functions capital F is closed under the operation of composition, and that an algebraic system F with the composition operation is an algebraic system. Means when we perform the composition for the set of 4 elements 1 2 3 4, then after 4 intervals it repeat the answer. Means only there will be 4 different answers, f raised to power 0, f raised to power 1, f raised to power 3 and f raised to power 4. Then after that it will repeat again the f raised to power 0, f raised to power 1, f raised to power 2, f raised to power 3 and like that. The operation composition is both the commutative and associative. Also the element f raised to power 0 is the identity element with respect to the operation of composition. The result of composition of any two functions of capital F is given by the table. You can check in our previous derivation that f raised to power 0 composition f raised to power 0, it is f raised to power 0, f raised to power 0 composition f raised to power 1, then f raised to power 1, f raised to power 0 composition f raised to power 2, it is f raised to power 2, f raised to power 0 composition f raised to power 3, then it is f raised to power 3. That's why we have said here that f raised to power 0 is an identity element, because it is not affecting to any other function when we perform this operation composition. F raised to power 1 composition f raised to power 0, then it is f raised to power 1. The f raised to power 1 composition f raised to power 1, then it is f raised to power 2. F raised to power 1 composition f raised to power 2, then it is f raised to power 3. F raised to power 1 composition f raised to power 3, then it is the f raised to power 4, and that is similar to the f raised to power 0. Means after f raised to power 3 it will start the repetition. Same the f raised to power 2 composition f raised to power 0, that is equals to f raised to power 2, f raised to power 2 composition f raised to power 1, that is f raised to power 3, Now f raised to power 2 composition f raised to power 2, that will equals to f raised to power 0, because it will the f raised to power 4. F raised to power 2 composition f raised to power 3, it is the f raised to power 5, but similar to the f raised to power 1. And same for the last row, f raised to power 3 composition f raised to power 0, it is equals to f raised to power 3. F raised to power 3 composition f raised to power 4, f raised to power 1, that is equals to the f raised to power 4, but same as f raised to power 0. It will the f raised to power 5, that is same as the f raised to power 1, and that will the f raised to power 6, that is equals to the f raised to power 2. Now we'll see the types of algebraic system. The first type is the semi-group. Let capital S is a non-empty set, then composition is a binary operation on this set capital S. Then the algebraic system S with this composition operation is called a semi-group if the operation is associative. It is very simple. If the operation is associative, then we call that it is a semi-group. In other words, this algebraic system is a semi-group if for any three elements x, y, z belongs to the set capital S, if in bracket x composition y bracket composition z is equals to the x composition in bracket y composition z, then we call that it is a semi-group. A semi-group can be described by giving the composition table of the operation when S is a finite and when its order is not large. Otherwise, it can be described by the means of the sum rule for the operation composition on S. Second type is monoid. Now, a semi-group with an identity element with respect to the operation composition is called a monoid. If it is already a semi-group, means it already follow the associative. It is already a associative. Means we can say that any algebraic system which is associative and having an identity element, then we call it is a monoid. That's why in other word, an algebraic system M with the composition operation is monoid if for any three elements x, y, z belongs to the set M. First, x composition y bracket composition z is equals to the x composition in bracket y composition z, means it is associative, and there exists an element E belongs to this set such that for any element x belongs to the M, suppose E composition x or the x composition E is equals to x, means the E is not affecting to x over the composition operation. Means any algebraic system which is associative and has an identity element, that's we call the monoid. The existence of the identity element guaranteed that no two columns or rows of the composition table are identical. The third type is group. A group is an algebraic system in which the binary operation composition on the set capital G satisfies three conditions. The first, it is associative. The second, it has an identity element, and third, it has an inverse element. That is, for every x belongs to the G, for every element of the set, there exists an element denoted by the x raised to power minus 1 belongs to the G, such that the x raised to power minus 1 composition x or x composition x raised to power minus 1 is equals to E. That is the identity element. Then we call it is inverse. Means any algebraic system which is associative, which have the identity element and inverse element, that's called a group. Means every group is also a monoid and it is also a semi-group. The fourth type is abelian group. A group in which the operation composition is commutative is called an abelian group. Means a group means it already associative, has the identity element and has the inverse element, but additionally if it is commutative, then we call it is an abelian group. It is a group, that's why already it is associative, it has the identity element and inverse element. Now If it is commutative, that is X composition Y or the Y composition, it is equals to the Y composition X, then we call it is commutative. Now we can say that every abelian group, it is also a group, also a monoid, and also a semigroup. Now moving towards the last topic, this is the morphism. Morphism means we say the mapping. In our one separate video, we have discussed about the function. There are the three types of the function. The one-to-one function, that's we call injective mapping. Second is onto function, that's we call surjective mapping. And third is one-to-one onto function, that's we call the bijective mapping. If we have any two sets, in that any element of the second set it is empty, then there is doesn't matter, it may be the empty. But if the x1 has a relation with x2, the x2 y1 and x2 has a relation with y2, means every element of x has the element with only one element of the y, then we call it is 1 to 1, and this function or this mapping is called the injective mapping. The second is, if we have again the two sets, the capital X and the capital Y. Now if in the second set no element is empty, then we call that it is the onto function, that is the surjective mapping. And the third is the combination of these two, that is the 1 to 1 onto. x1 is related to y1, x2 is related to y3, and x3 is related to y2. That's why it is 1 to 1. Every element of x is related to one separate element of y. That's why it is 1 to 1, and no element of y3 is empty, it is not free. That's why it is onto. And this type is called the 1 to 1 onto mapping, and the function is called the bijective function. Now based on this, we have some definitions for the morphism. The first is homomorphism. Let an algebraic system X with the composition operation and the second algebraic system Y with the asterisk operation, that is multiplication operation, are any two algebraic system of the same type, in the sense that both composition and the multiplication are the binary operations. A mapping G from X to Y is called a homomorphism, or simply a morphism from the first algebraic system X to the second algebraic system Y, if for any elements of the X, that is x1, x2, x3 up to the belongs to the set X, the mapping of x1 composition x2, it is equals to the mapping of x1 multiplication mapping of x2. If it is, then we call that these two systems are homomorphic systems. In such a function G exists, then it is customarily to call that the algebraic system Y is the homomorphic image of the algebraic system X. Although we must note that the mapping of X is a subset of Y. Now the second is epimorphism. Let the mapping G is a homomorphism from the algebraic system X to the algebraic system Y, if the mapping G from X to Y is onto, then this G is called the epimorphism. This mapping G is called the epimorphism. Let the mapping G is a homomorphism from the algebraic system X to the algebraic system Y, if the mapping G X to Y is 1 to 1, then this mapping G is called an monomorphism. Third is isomorphism. If this mapping G X to Y is 1 to 1 onto, then the mapping G is called an isomorphism. If it is onto, then called the epimorphism. If this mapping is 1 to 1, then it is called monomorphism, and if mapping is 1 to 1 onto, then it is called isomorphism. The last two, let an algebraic system X with the composition operation and the algebraic system Y with the multiplication operation are any two algebraic systems such that the second algebraic system is a subset of first algebraic system. A homomorphism G from the first algebraic system to the second algebraic system Y is called an endomorphism. If second algebraic system is a subset of first algebraic system, then it is called the endomorphism. The last is automorphism. If same we have the two algebraic system X with the composition operation and Y with the multiplication operation, and the Y is equals to X, means two algebraic systems are exactly same. A homomorphism G from the first algebraic system X to the second algebraic system Y is called an automorphism. These are the 6 types of morphisms. Thank you.